And I think, fortunately, we have some bits and bobs from the original series with the guys at Royal August Theatre today as well, which is great. It's a real treat for us today on the stream. I was wondering, just moving on to the actual, I don't know how much part you played in the conversation with the remastering of the digital remasters, because I know it's been released as a Blu-ray, but obviously it wasn't shot in film, so it's not true Blu-ray. But what can you tell us about that, Chris?
Well, the restoration on it's been done by a chap called Paul Venices, who's a good friend of mine who works often on the Blake Seven and Doctor Who sets. Uh, and you're right in a way that because Narnia is shot originally on video, it was a period of time with the BBC where they had before that often you would get a mix of video and film. So often outdoors would be on film, inside on video cameras in the studio. And at this point in time, video cameras had become flexible enough that you could just do the whole thing on video, and in a way that would give you more consistency of image. But video, doesn't retain the same amount of detail as film. So in that sense, just like the Box of Delights release, which is all on video, it can never be true HD. You will not watch this and suddenly it will be a completely different image that you've never seen before, and we wouldn't want it to be. We're not using any kind of filmizing or AI techniques to kind of make this seem more like film, because that's not what it is. That's not how it was made. But the benefits of Blu-ray are quite immense on this, because it's not just about film and HD, it's about compression. And it's the idea that actually if you take Narnia and you put it onto a DVD in standard definition, it crushes the picture and it will give you artifacts on the picture that you will not have on Blu-ray. So, the image has room to breathe. And anybody who's seen the Box of Delights set will see pretty much, I'm sure very closely to how Narnia will look, and it will look better than it ever has on home release before. And so in that sense, it's incredibly worthwhile to have it done on Blu-ray. And I'd certainly recommend people buy the Blu-ray rather than the DVD, on a personal level, not an official level, because A, the documentary is filmed in HD. And so you'll be seeing the Return to Narnia as it's meant to be seen. And you'll be seeing the episodes themselves better than they've ever looked before. But it is available on DVD and Blu-ray because, some people have Blu-ray players, some people don't have Blu-ray players. So we just want to make sure it's flexible as much as it can be.
Love that. I can't wait to lock myself in my room for a few days just to soak it all up. I'm sure it's going to be a thing of beauty. There's a lot of excitement about the BBC series being re-released, in a sense, to a generation who maybe haven't seen it in the first place. Um, there was a lot of confusion at some of the pictures you were posting in terms of the cast, because people weren't aware that there was a different adaptation. Do you think your documentary and this re-release might help bridge that gap then?
Well, I mean, I'm going to imagine that it's probably the case that the majority of people who will go out and buy this, the release, will be people who are familiar with the show from their childhood. I think that's the bulk of the people that we're thinking of when we're making it. And certainly the documentary is, I'm imagining that person sitting down and watching it. But we want to make it broad enough that anybody can wander into the room and sit down with them. And you might watch it with your kid or you might watch it with your partner, and they get a kick out of it as well. It's not nerdy in a kind of off-putting way. If it did mean that people discover it fresh, I think that's terrific. And certainly if there are fans of the kind of Walden Media movies, who maybe you probably already always heard that there's been previous versions of Narnia before, then the set's a great way of exploring that further. Uh, but no, I think we'll have to see how that plays out. But I'd just be delighted if anybody watched it. I'm not too picky about the scale of the audience. I just want it to go out into the world now, and hopefully be enjoyed by the people who do watch it.
And for people potentially outside the UK who want to get a look at it, because right now I think it's just Amazon UK. I'm not sure about shipping abroad and stuff like that. So, is there any word on a sort of wider distribution?
Yeah, so I'd love that to happen, and I say I don't care how many people watch it, but I would love for as many people who want to watch it to be able to watch it. Certainly, the plan at the moment is it's a UK release of the Blu-ray and the DVD. I'm told that the Blu-ray is region free, so in theory, that should work on an American region free Blu-ray player. the DVD is strictly Region 2 and Region 4, which I think Region 4 is the Australian kind of area. So it depends a bit on your Blu-ray player as to whether it will play the Blu-ray or not. But I'd certainly love them to do a further release, and anything like that is possible. I think it'll depend on how the UK release goes. So I'd love that to happen, but at this stage, the plan is focused on the UK release at this stage.
You heard it here first, folks. Get buying multiple copies. It's nearly Christmas.
It is no guarantee. It is no guarantee. But you know, I think certainly I'd love it to go further, and we will see if it does or not.
All right. Before I hand things back to David, I'll just get a few quick fire questions for you, if that's okay.
Is this
Just
people on Facebook? Is this Facebook questions?
no, this is just mine. This
Okay.
is quick fire,
Okay.
but so just quick answers, okay?
Okay.
Favorite BBC Narnia character,
Edmund.
costume or prop you'd most love to own.
Oh God. I'd actually love that Turkish delight box that the Queen gives to Edmund, because then you could keep stuff in it. You could use it in your kitchen in a practical sense.
I want that picture of the Dawn Treader that's in one of the pictures you posted.
Yes. Well, that's in my house. That's downstairs in my house at the moment. So yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'm gonna find you.
No,
If you could step, if you could step on the set one set from the entire series tomorrow, which set would it be?
I think the most impressive set is the underworld that they put together for the Silver Chair, because that's just amazing and wouldn't look out of place in a big American movie of that era, like Return to Oz or something like that, or The Never-Ending Story. Nostalgically, you know, the attic with the wardrobe would be amazing, and I think just being on the Dawn Treader, actually being out on sea on the actual Dawn Treader, would be stunning.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me it would be the scene where the beavers take the Pevensey children to shelter, and you know the bad, incredible. Yeah. Which cast or crew member made you laugh the most during filming?
Oh, I mean, they're all lovely if they're watching. But Sophie Wilcox is a lot of fun. Who plays Lucy?
One word to describe Return to Narnia.
Big.
Turkish delight, yes or no?
Oh yeah, big yes, actually, big yes.
Sardines.
Yeah. Oh, sardines?
No.
No, yeah, I think I'm pro all fish, really. Generally, all fish good.
Lovely. Marmalade roll.
Yeah, I think kind of old school British sweets and confectionery like that, I think, are all brilliant, and I love that C.S. Lewis was obviously quite obsessed with food. There's a lot of kind of food detail in the book that I guess
Totally.
it's what Tolkien was doing with all his lambus bread and all that kind of stuff. But Lewis really, he wants to tell you what people are eating, doesn't he, at all times? I mean,
And they made the marmalade roll look like the most sort of glorious thing in the world, but in that series, didn't they?
yeah, it's beautiful, and I think there's a feast, isn't there, at the end of Dawn Treader, the last island they come to, that again,
Yes.
all these scenes look very digestible. So I think
Yeah, that's another great set, actually, isn't it? An unbelievable set. So just to end on something reflective, if you could leave one message tucked away inside the wardrobe for the next generation of Narnia fans, what would it be?
I don't know. Well, I hope that they'll always stay connected to the BBC version. I think that it seems like it's the most faithful version that's been. I don't think you always have to be faithful. I think it's exciting to take a property like this, to take a book series like this, and to be inventive with it and keep it evolving, I think is important. But I hope that they'll remember that this version was made by good people with good intentions, just trying to make a great fantasy adventure series faithfully, fairly faithfully to the books, that hopefully has had a legacy.
A lovely, beautiful note to end on there. Yeah, and just for me personally, just thanks for giving us this incredible chance to return to the world that a lot of us hold so close to our hearts.